What's up everyone, Speedy here. In this 1v1 video, we're going to be doing 2 live games as well as 1 replay review, so let's get right into it. Okay, here we are in game number 1. Already got fake kickoff, that's fine. Goes for that. I shouldn't have gone there, that was really risky. Yeah, definitely got punished there. It's going to be aggressive there on a lot of challenges, so that tells me he's just going to kind of go. That tells me also I just need to be aware of my 50-50s and recognize if I'm not going to get a good beat there. Need to be doubly careful about just putting myself out of position. Take time. Nice. You see how by changing the pacing of the play, it kind of makes him awkward and he's kind of waiting for you, and then you can kind of go in a good time. You can control the pacing there, so there it's important that you kind of just make sure your flip is decently directed. Try to get it behind him. Decent 50. Stay aggressive with position. Gonna reset. Pick up the wall there. Not gonna have a good shot. That's crazy. The fucking bump doesn't do anything. That's crazy, dude. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Okay, yeah. I saw sparks and shit on my screen, but apparently the server said otherwise. Fair enough. He trolls the kickoff. Oh my god, dude. What a corner shot, bro. Dude, that was actually crazy clean. Nice. And we do the kickoff strat with the delay. Well done. Well done. Am I in the wrong server? I'm in EU, bro. Oh, I didn't mean to leave myself in EU. That's a big oopsies. I kind of messed that up. I didn't realize I was an EU server. If I was playing in the EU, he's going to go for the pinch. Too threatening. I wish I was able to get like a hit connected there. Okay, that explains why. Yeah, that explains why the previous play I didn't get contact there, even though like I bumped him. It's probably because I was in EU server. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I was playing in EU servers, switching it up because I was playing with some buddies. Just fake here. Nice. Take advantage of the opponent, kind of just making a bad touch. You want to be careful about those touches that are going to come off the corner like that, especially if you're committing to the boost there. This puts you often out of position, so it's not really a good idea. That was a fantastically played, Speedy. Good job there, buddy. We get a freebie. Nice, we'll take the freebies. Well, at this point, I'm technically playing on a disadvantage because of my ping. Kind of didn't realize that, but all good. Just have to concede the kickoff. I'm fine with not getting a goal there. It's making the possession awkward. Is that just gonna go in? It actually just goes in, bro. You actually played all that really well, and then he just gets a really poor 50-50. It's fake turn here. GG. Well played on the first game. I'm going to actually go ahead and just manually, before I forget, I'm going to switch back to NA East, as I originally intended. Let me fix that. Nope, nope, not that. There we go. Okay, we should be good now. Oops. There we go. Okay, we are in game number 2, and we are on NA servers now, so we are good. Ooh, I shouldn't be flipping there. That's fine. I fucked that up, but the opponent fucked it up even more. That's weird, but oops. W set up on the kickoff there. W recovery. Let's take grounded here. You can't be that passive. If you're defending, so word of advice, if you're in the position like that, you need to push up a lot closer. And you cannot be giving that much space and then just not doing anything. Otherwise, you're just going to get basically that to have happen. Get an accurate shot. That's all good. Let's grab these pads. But it wants to play across. Gotta keep him high. Close the space. He's gonna cut. Well defended. Also well defended. Good bomb. I overpushed the corner there, and honestly, I shouldn't have been in the position I was in. I made that way more awkward than I really needed to, so that's on me. Nice. Well played. Don't mind if it's going to be over-aggressive. I use my camera to be aware of him. Nice, played that well. Yeah, if you're attacking there, you want to be really careful about overcommitting that much to the corner, especially if I'm like a whole step of tempo ahead of you. It's not going to end well. Okay, he's gonna have a free shot. Can't really do anything there. Wasn't trying to get that double jump there. Once I double jump and I'm boosting there, I can't recover. Be careful with this chow. That was risky of me. Big turn here. Yeah, dude, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's really risky there, especially on 0 boost. Just tricky positioning. Side flip. On a side flip there. Good boost grab. That's a good shot. I fucking shouldn't have gone for that corner boost, honestly. That was really stupid of me. Should have stayed on pads and have been fine. So I could have rotated, grabbed those pads there, and been totally okay. Nice. I'm actually going to grab this opposite corner boost. Ball's going to start coming across this way. Nice. Should be close to GG's there. I just need to not lose this kickoff, and it should be fine. Nice, and GG. Well played. Okay, so here we are in the replay portion of the video. And this was a decent game. Mechanically, not a bad game. Really more of just like a well set up game overall. Position. Pretty close game against this guy. A guy that's actually, honestly, for all counts and purposes, or intents and purposes, honestly played his kickoffs really well. He was really good with his kickoffs. It's just... His kickoffs, he was really good at specifically wave dashing after the kickoff 50-50. That was something he did a lot, as you're going to see here. It's probably right here, actually. Yeah, so like literally almost every kickoff he was doing that. Which is annoying, but still all good. Yeah, this was a bad giveaway. Honestly, this play would have been better. Faking. Honestly, like a fake here. Just covering for the 50-50. So like here, a fake, and then, because at that point, like, let's see his momentum, right? He's 0 boost. Yeah, if I faked, honestly, his momentum wouldn't have really hit the ball. And if anything, it wouldn't have been dangerous because I would have been able to cover it. So a fake there would have been better because he's already shown at that point he's flipping a lot for a lot of plays, and I'm staying grounded. So here, this is poor because it gives possession away. At this point, I have no possession play. I give it away, quite literally. And at that point, just to grab boost. And at this point, I end up actually getting scored on. So, just not a good play. That's where I get scored on right here. After that, because I also overcommit to the corner. There's a few mistakes here, but really the mistake that led to the play that caused the actual goal was this mistake right here. So this mistake after this boost, right here, this is the mistake. Committing for boost on somebody that's already 0 boost, that's going to commit anyways because they're flipping, especially having seen them like flip like crazy in the beginning of the game. You need to recognize it's just not a good time. You just need to wait, play for the 50, even like a single jump 50. without touching the ball, just single jump 50 to wait for it, and then like a wave dash recovery backwards, or not backwards, but afterwards, that would be good. That would give you better, at least a better result. At worst, you get a neutral 50. At best, you end up getting an open net, basically. I'm also, on these kickoffs, I'm also losing most of my kickoffs. He's doing a good job of like winning almost every kickoff, which is really frustrating. A lot of that comes from the fact that I'm forward flipping here. He's doing a better job of like specifically setting his flip towards in the direction that he wants. So here he gets the speed flip, and he's side flipping in a way that allows him to keep his ball, not his ball, but the car forward facing, whereas I'm flipping. So that forward flip is not really a good thing to do. It's just going to put you out of position further. So that's a mistake there. Overall, my positioning in this game was not bad. It was pretty decent, but my kickoff positioning and like really on the 50-50s was bad. This was like a couple other games off recording. Honestly, today was not a great kickoff day. It just didn't feel like my kickoffs were great. I was practicing some as well, and just I had to lose a couple games before I realized a bad habit that just started popping up, and immediately I started correcting. So these kickoffs, I was more focusing on that correcting of the bad habit, which I did a good job correcting. And basically what it was this, basically, whenever I was doing the speed flip motion and getting like back onto the landing. So I was doing the speed flip, and as I'm landing, I was getting my left thumb here back onto the joystick, and I actually inadvertently was moving the joystick, and the car, you could see it wiggling a little bit on landing. So instead of like landing and being like square, I was landing and then wiggling a bit, which was just fucking up the kickoffs, and I lost the game. Basically, I started to come back to, I brought it back 3-6 after being 0-6, and then ended up losing that game anyways. And I was like, all right, you know, I went 3-7 at that point. I was like, okay, it's not enough time, you know. And it's just, that was poor play. So I was like, okay, next game, try to figure out what's going on. And then as I'm losing the game again, you know, I start realizing that this bad habit's happening, and then immediately was like, okay, fuck, I need to fix this. So when this happens, when you have these moments that happen, what you need to do is you need to recognize when the mistake happens, log it in your mind, and then focus on correcting it, and try to correct it as soon as possible. Because if you start seeing like the potential beginning of a habit, like I saw like just a bad, you know, literally unconscious habit, just the unconscious physical movement habit that was not safe, that was not correct, fix it. Fix it immediately before it actually becomes a real habit. Because if you can notice it pretty early on, chances are other people are going to notice it and take advantage of it, especially in 1v1s. Especially with how many fucking kickoffs you get in this game mode, it's very common that you'll get kickoffs scored on. Overall, though, game felt decent. This is good. Oh, yeah, that's right. So because he commits fully here, I know he's going to be going for this. Most people are very aggressive here and they just go for this, so it's a really obvious play. So here, my goal here was just advance to play forward, place for a potential 50-50 at minimum, but also like try to get like a touch with the ball there. I couldn't quite reach it, but it actually works out that I didn't reach it because the opponent gets an awkward touch, and at this point I just sink it into that. I'm like, I'm just scoring. Immediately, just need to score. Pretty sure I'll lose this kickoff here. Yeah, so I tried delay kickoff. So there's different types of delays, and you can delay at different points. So I'm going to go into fly cam, and I'm going to show you. So I delay at the midpoint of the speed flip once I stop boosting. Normally you continue boosting until you're out of boost. Basically, I saved a little bit of boost. I have 12 boost, I think it was. Yeah, so a little bit of boost, 11 or 12 boost. It's enough to complete the essentially the acceleration towards supersonic. But the thing is that you're left with 0 boost. I tried delaying this, and at this point, I have to remember that I'm getting there slow. Also, well, he was also slow too. Wait a minute, I didn't see was he delaying it? Because this fucked me up too. Maybe he was delaying. He was delaying it, bro. He delayed my delay. What a fucker, dude. Damn. We were kickoff stratting a lot. I got some kickoffs later in the game on him, and that was better. He got a lot of the early game kickoffs. I should have scored here. I fucked up with this touch. So here, he makes the mistake. I should have stopped boosting. And I should have honestly just kind of gotten a little bit wider. I didn't need to power slide this hard. So pressing the left button here, left bumper. I didn't have to actually like honestly power slide, so maybe just one tap instead of like 2 or 3 taps, I think it was. And that extra tap made me awkward. Because one tap into a hook shot would have actually been totally fine there, because I could have hooked it left and been able to get a good shot on net. Missed the bump there. It was annoying there. I was like, at that point, I was like, okay, I need not fucking troll. You know, I need to not be trolling this game. Once again, game's tied. It's not traditionally a really good fake. I don't like going for this type of fake kickoff a lot. This fake kickoff can get you scored on if your opponents are aware of it early on and not pay attention for it. If they're paying attention for it, it can really screw you over because they'll just take time. And if they take time, like this, if this dude literally took his time, grabbed this pad, even if I had boost, I just literally like waited, and he could have flicked it over me. He could have had options. I could have placed for 50-50, gone instead for that boost, but while I was still recovering. There could have been a lot of options for him, but I go for both boosts. I'm like, okay, now I have the option. I can play the way I want it. At this point, I see that he's kind of playing this. I need to stop flipping in the opposite direction, in the outward fucking direction here. This is a really, really bad mistake, and this is actually a habit that's forming. And this, once again, this is a habit I talked about bad habits. This is a habit that I need to correct. Is this right here? Is this habit that I have to hard flip every single time, and I need to flip outward like this, because by flipping outward, it's skimming the ball and it's creating these backward pinches. And that's happening multiple times, and that's not a good thing. That is a big problem. That will get me scored on a lot, and that is just sloppy. I need to be better than that. Will you fix that? Because again, you can see he trolls. And he trolls here as well. The way you correct habits, and of course I sound a little harsh on myself, it's just me. I'm not actually being like super serious over it, but the way you actually like try to correct habits is if you find yourself in a position where you're now essentially like flipping away from the ball. So say this boost pad, that's the ball, right? So the ball's like right here. In this position, if you know your opponent is in a position where you're aware of they're going to be on this left side, you don't want to be skimming outward like this and then creating essentially a soft 50 point that can bring the ball backwards. That's like the worst thing you could be doing. What you want to be doing is single jump 50 or just stay grounded until you have a position where you know that it's really high percentage for you to flip. But flipping outward like this when the ball is naturally going to go to the right here is literally going to make it go even more to the right. You want to ideally single jump 50, or in this case, you just flip. You do a right side flip, so essentially a side flip, but you do it right ways, and that's going to give you more of a neutral kill essentially on the ball. That will be safer in that situation than what I did. So I do a good job of being present here with this pressure play essentially, but what I do a really not great job is right here. And the thing about this position is you don't want to be doing two things here. So first problem isn't necessarily that I'm committing here, because I have possession. I have a possession play, and the opponent is staying back. They're threatened by the play, so they're respecting the fact that I have possession. They don't know how much boost I have. They know I don't have a lot, but they don't know how much boost I have. I'm on fucking 0, bro. I literally have 3. Correction, I have 3. But the two problems here are I'm going for this cut here way too late, and I'm cutting it way fucking wide here. Cut it here, so a little earlier, so wait for the perfect time, and I'll explain my reasoning for this. Here, hook shot, pop it right. The opponent's momentum is moving them to the left. You pop it right, they're not saving it. Boom, easy shot right there. That would have been the goal right there. Done. 4-2. Hold my lead. And that would have been a lot better. But instead, what I did was I tried to power slide cut really late and really wide here in a position that was awkward. And it creates this. This is bad. This is not what you want to be doing. If you're finding yourself dealing with like awkwardness, the way you do this, and I'm going to show after the replay is over, so stay tuned and try to like stick around for this, because I'm going to show you in training a little bit of a way to correct that. There's a couple drills that you can do, but I'll get into that later in the video. So right here, I do get demoed. After this, I'm like, okay, I need to force it high. I can't safely go for a shot here. So I go for this touch here. This is bad. Once again, this is another bad play. If I want to commit for anything, honestly, just in reality, just don't commit. So here, this is great. This challenge is great. This is fine. But this flip here separates me from the ball significantly, and the opponent has a free shot. If they got a little bit more cut, and if they're just a little wider and they cut it more, that was a fucking 100% a goal. I should have gotten scored on there. That was a really, really bad play. The way you kind of go about this is you just, if you want to bring it back, position yourself a little bit differently on the entry here. So my line on entry was poor. So I get this, right? I need to be aware of that bounce and to come in just a little bit wider. Be aware of the bump play, you know, recognize the bump play. Go wider here and then bring it back this way. And then pop it like this. And it needs to be a solid hit. It needs to be a solid hit. Not super bouncy, but it needs to be a solid hit. That's going to go this way. And then you can basically crab over, grab some pads, get this boost. And then you'd be fine. But the soft touch here that creates, look at how much separation. I have like huge amount of separation here. And then this dude has the free space to go for a shot. Misses the open net, but that should have been a goal. A better shot, honestly, would have led to a goal. At this point, bro decides to start going crazy for bumps. Does a good job, because he changes up. He starts going fucking crazy wild for bumps, and I just was not ready for it. He gets the goal there, and I'm like, okay, I know that you're going to be going for this crap. Good to know. You know, I can play the bump game too, but I'm not going to try to overuse it. Otherwise, it's too obvious. Do get the kickoff strat, and it works. Again, kickoff strats were really a thing this game. There was a lot of kickoff strats that inevitably led to some goals. And another poor side flip. You know why it's a poor side flip? Because it's a side flip away from the direction of the 50-50. I'm side flipping to the right when the 50-50 is being forced left. So here, I need to recognize in the moment that if I'm going to be slightly on the right here and flipping right, guess where the ball's going to go? That way. And it's going to go that way a lot of the time. It's not going to go 100% of the time, but it sure as hell is going to get pretty close to 100%. So this is a good touch here. Opponent trolls by getting essentially way too committed to my corner, and then ends up, again, trolling. Again, if the opponent didn't make the mistakes offensively there, and I made good counterplays, but the thing is, I only made good counterplays because he made mistakes. I need to do a better job on my initial plays because his counterplays were poor, which led to my better counterplays. But I should never even have to get to the point where the counterplays even have to fucking happen. It's either I score or I don't. But I need to do a better job of converting my positions, converting my situation. And that's where, in those situations, overall, I can do a better job. That's really where I'm lacking, it feels like, positionally. I'm not doing a really good job setting up there. That's fine, honestly. It would have been better to go for the corner boost, because now I'm on fucking 0 boost. Opponent trolls the position. Fake here. And I'm like, okay. He's obviously flipping. He's like literally, he's shitting himself a lot, because he's now going full panic bumping. He's freaking out for the situation. Like, look at all this movement. You don't need that. If you're warned and you're watching this at some point, do not flip so much, bro. Fucking stay on the ground and chill, dog. Like, you have got to stay on the ground. You do not need to be making all these extra flips. Look how fucked up you're getting yourself. You know, you're making yourself susceptible to bumps. You're getting yourself out of position and out of whack and out of place here. You know, keep it calm, keep it basic, and you'll put yourself in a good spot. Good pressure here. Can't really commit. He does a good job of being fast. Like, he speeds up the game here. Like, that's fine. It's not really scaring me. I fake here. Just once again, just taking time. I do a great job getting this bump here. And this bump play into the shot. I just go for the quick shot here and end up kind of just popping it over him. Something I also need to practice are chip shots. Chip shots are also a really good option there. Especially if you can get really good positioning and power out of it. That should have been a goal. Honestly, 100% should have been a goal. Play the 50. and I need to stay grounded here. Just get a control touch. Like, look at the opponent. He's all the way back here on 0 boost. All I have to do is just control touch, shoot. But I rush the shot, not paying attention to how close the opponent is, and I fuck up the angle. It would not have been a situation that led to the coming goal here if I just simply played it better. So once again, he's going to be... This time I was surprised. He got aggressive really in the mid game a lot, and then he just got super fucking passive and when he shouldn't have been passive. Which just shouldn't have happened. I play this high, but he's able to get the flick above me. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get there in time. That's just due to spacing and just putting myself in an awkward spot at that point here. So right here. So at this point, look how much space I'm giving him. Honestly, and if I'm going to be shadowing like this, I need to be facing the same direction that he's facing. He's going out to in, I'm going in to out. I need to be going out to in here. Facing the same way, I need to be landing here and then staying closer, so that way he's kind of limited on options. So he's trying to figure out what to do. This is when you can cut, and you can cut like right, literally just before this, when the ball is like over here. That's your point to cut. At this point, I'm given complete possession, complete control, and it's just not good. It's just bad all around. It's not what should happen. And you know, I talked about how overall my positioning wasn't bad. It wasn't good either. It honestly, it wasn't good either. This is something that I need to continue just honestly practicing. I need to be aware of it. And, you know, I sound harsh on myself, but that's just the reality. Here, good fake. It's fine here, but it's going to boom the ball away. Here, a single touch. This single jump. Opponent, once again, just freaks themselves out. Just take time. And just chip shot. You see how, like, literally right there, I honestly did totally valid. Excuse me, totally a valid play. Did I slot it? No. Would have been nice if I did. But still. And then flipping here, didn't have to do that. He gets a hell of a fucking hit here. I want to see if it's just... Yeah, he just tipped off the corner. That's what gave it so much power. At this point, game is over. So I was like, I'm just going to just pop the ball out. And there's nothing really else. But stick around for the quick little bit on training. I'm going to kind of talk about something that I would say you could implement in your games. If you're finding you're really struggling with your chip shots, and also like your hook shots specifically, you see how like if you hit the ball on the side of the car, it really gets like a soft cut here. If you can get it more to the diagonal part of, like almost like diagonal with the front left in this position of your car, so like here, that's like a great idea right there. You know, you see you get the hook shot. So using we call this the hot potato drill, this will get you familiar with bounce dribbling. It also gets you familiar with just generally the comfort having placement with your car. You know, placing the ball with your car in a certain position. You see how like, boom, now I can go like this, follow the play forward. You can rip the ball forward like that. So you have options. Another drill is like if you're wanting to cut and you see your opponent's going to challenge, like that. Just simply, your opponent's going to challenge. And you can start with the single jump. You can follow up with a flip if you feel it's safe to. Be careful about defaulting to a flip, but just single jump, have a good recovery. Try not to do like a single jump and then land like this. You see how it kills your momentum. So just be aware of that. If you found this video instructive and would like me to replay review your games, let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And if you enjoyed watching this video, make sure you hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Speedy Man out.